Welcome, welcome. It is the Link Show. It is absolutely wonderful to have you along with us. As always, my name is Dougal, and alongside Rhoda today. And oh boy, are
Oh
we
yeah.
spoiled because the surrounds picturesque, to say the least. How's it, Rhoda?
It is good, Dougal. Extremely hot in a beautiful, beautiful place we're finding ourselves right now. But I'm enjoying the views, definitely.
As long as you are, because we are really being spoiled. Likewise with you, because we're going to give you all the insights, because we're actually broadcasting live from the third annual men's conference
yeah.
of Northlink that is taking place in the, as I mentioned, picturesque wine estate of the area, which is close to Durbanville. That is where we're broadcasting live from. And I tell you what, this is an absolutely amazing event because this is attended by all men affiliated with Northlink. So we're talking staff, we're talking the lecturers, it is members of the executives, the portfolio and committee members, working crew, stakeholders. They all here, and they're here for a very, very simple reason, of course, to bond better,
Oh,
for a
yeah.
brotherhood, and we're going to get into all of this. But first things first, of course, as you know, if you want to find out everything or anything from Northlink, what you got to do is visit their website. All the details are there. And of course, this is just a little taste of what actually takes place. But more importantly, this has got to be your destination of choice when it comes to your tertiary institution. So this is definitely what you've got to choose. But this men's conference just really shapes it, and it kind of gives you an idea, Rhoda, of what the
Yes.
culture is like at Northlink.
Exactly. And you know, it excites me because as a parent, you love to know that the staff, the people that's actually working at the institutions, wellness is being looked at. And the importance is if they're looking after their staff as well. For me, is how well will they look after, you know, our future students as well.
And to a great extent within society at large, and this is not to get onto a soapbox or make any
Yeah.
statements like that, but if you look at it, you were looking at all 7 campuses,
Oh,
you're looking
yeah.
at all the male staff, central office male staff, that is all involved there. And there is a theme here when it goes to men's health matters. That is really the theme. So when we look at what our role today in society needs to be to drive everything forward, we've got all these sort of, let's call them hurdles and issues that we're dealing with in a society. It is very important that as men, we do step up and take a lead and become better supportive. And when there's things like health issues, mental health issues,
Mental.
all of the regular stress that anybody falls under, it is really heartwarming to find out there is a campus and Northlink really look after their men
Definitely.
in a way like that. But that is our take from where we are, and of course, we want to find out all the details and really prove to you the fact why everything is hunky-dory, to say the least. Now, remember, of course, we look forward to your questions and comments. There's always somebody there to respond to those, whatever questions you have. But any information regarding to Northlink, please visit their website. So much anticipation, of course, for this third annual conference from where we are broadcasting live. The excitement has been built up also for the first time ever, and it's only the third one that's taking place in succession,
Oh, yeah.
that it hasn't happened in-house, that the men have actually gone somewhere else, and now we find ourselves at the area. So we're going to get straight into our guests because we're going to speak to some of the keynote speakers, the issues that they're addressing, what this conference is all about. But who better to give us a much better overview and
Oh, yeah.
background than all of this. So joining us right now, Mr. Musembate, who is the Deputy Principal Corporate Services of Northlink, is here with us. Mr. Mate, how are you? Good to see you again.
Welcome.
How are you?
No, it's good.
good.
Great to have you.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Good to have me. Thank you very much for that.
Pleasure,
No, thank you so
pleasure.
much for joining us. We know it's busy. The conference is
Oh,
ongoing
yeah.
as we speak right now.
Yeah.
To all the viewers there, could you kind of give us an overview of why it is important to do this? What is this men's conference all about?
No, this conference is very critical and important for our Northlink family or community because we are driving the theme that says from good to great.
Oh, wow.
And that theme is taking us far in terms of our vision. So as part of it, we have a unit called Employee Health and Wellness, where we look at about 4 pillars of wellness as a unit. So in terms of the strategic framework or overview of wellness, there is a pillar called health and productivity management, where we believe that a healthy employee is a productive employee. Now, from there, you then have to look at all other pillars because they are related to each other, which is wellness management. You also have SHELC, where you're looking at issues of environment, safety, looking at issues of risk, and so on. And then you have to then make sure that all those pillars are assisting us to grow as an institution. So based on that, there is another fourth one where we talk about dealing with issues of HIV and TB, HIV/AIDS and TB management.
Yeah.
That's one of the fourth pillars that we have to make sure that we deal with to assist our employees. Now, based on this one, if you look at the theme for today, we are saying your health matters because we are of the view that a healthy employee is a productive employee.
Yeah.
True,
So we
true.
make sure that we take care of our staff members, the stress that they go through, be it in their families, be it at home, be it in the workplace, the type of work they do, because the work sometimes can cause a lot of stress.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an opportunity for them to explore and get education around all areas in terms of balancing their life.
Okay.
Because remember, wellness has to do with balancing your work life and social life, work life and your personal life. That is why all the topics are educational in nature. And they are looking at all the areas like social, mentally, financial
Okay.
education, health related topics. So we are trying by all means to balance.
Oh, yeah.
But you must also take note that it is done in terms of the gender, so that at least we're then able to focus on issues that affect men.
Men.
Oh,
And
man.
then we separate issues that affect females. That's why we have a women conference as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
today our focus is on the men conference, and it is the third men conference since we have started.
So your theme on this one is health matters. You're moving here from good to great, and as you now said, it's a productive employee, or a healthy employee results in a productive employee. In terms of the topics and the content of what is being discussed, being the third one, leading up to this, do you highlight certain concerns and topics that you would like to discuss, or do the delegates here that's attending the conference today, do they bring some of those to the fore, to the wellness unit, to say, listen, let's talk about financial health for that matter? How do you decide on those topics?
No, thank you very much for that question. The structure is not limited to wellness.
No.
So we look at all the issues that affect employees. So people management as a whole will then include labor relations, where we have to adopt a strategy there. And one of the strategies is that we believe in worker participation, employee involvement, a voice of an employee matters. Now, based on that, in each and every event we have done, from the first, second, up to now, where to allow employees to give feedback. So then we use their feedback to then identify all other topics. So there are good speakers we did not bring back, who have, however, been the best from the first to the second, but we had to accommodate others so that we cover all aspects of a human being in terms of socially, mentally, any topic that is educational in nature. We have even added issues of gender-based violence, trying to deal with the root and the source of gender-based violence, trying to understand where does it come from, what are the things that you need to do as a man to avoid them. So based on that, it means the topics are not coming from management, but the topics are coming from all staff members, based on the
he
survey
was a
that you
psychologist.
will do after
Yeah,
this
cool.
one, it will then inform
Caitlin came
which
to me with
topics
puppy
they would
eyes
like to see
and persuaded
in
me.
the fourth men's conference.
I was just going to say now.
Yeah,
She just made that,
and that is
puppy eyes
absolutely
to me.
brilliant because it does seem that everybody is very engaged. That obviously there's a build-up. This is coming. This is coming. People already would have a question or two that they might want to pose to a certain speaker. Have you find that there was a bit of an excitement building up to this?
Yes, obviously there is, because remember, you don't build the excitement from this one. You build the excitement from history. The first one was successful. The second one was successful. So it then builds excitement before you actually get to the third one.
Yeah.
So far, the event is going very well. The speakers are very informative. I like the engagements because we are an institution that allows the voice of any of our stakeholders.
That's cool.
So in engagements, we believe that our staff members should engage. So from what I've observed so far, staff members are very happy, specifically our men. They are very happy. And what makes it more exciting and relevant to them, I've spoken with some of them, is that we have taken them out of their workplace, because we have been having first and second in their workplace.
100%.
Now we have taken it outside in a wine farm, which I think it refreshes them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is exciting for them.
And I'm just listening to you now. Obviously, this is number 3. We're looking at number 4. And exciting things happening there as well. Planning starting already?
Yes, definitely, because remember, it's a third one. So we're definitely looking forward to the fourth one. And we want to bring more topics. And we want new topics. It can be same topics sometimes, but different speakers who come with different angles in attacking the subject matter.
So
or
true,
the
so
topic.
true.
So we are enjoying, and for your own information, is that this is a event budgeted for every year, which means every year it's a standard employee health and wellness event. That will always be there. As long as we still manage to have budget.
In terms of the landscape when it comes to higher education within TVET colleges, I mean, Northlink is really on the forefront when it comes to that, because this is not something you hear from other institutions, different brands. This is really something that Northlink is really just putting in. We want to make sure everybody affiliated with us is in the best shape possible, sound mind, has great support within this wellness unit that you have.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I think with the college currently, we do not know who is our number 2. We don't even know our number 1. We have 50 TVET colleges.
Wow.
But we don't know number 1 and number 2 up to 50. All we know is that we set a trend.
Oh yeah, you
so
did.
So we are an institution that believes that the sky is the limit.
Oh yeah.
So everything we do, we make sure that we set a tone, we set the trend, we bring something new. And that excites to be a Northlink family member.
That is exciting.
Well, thank you.
what is there in the overarching sort of final question from our side? What would be the thing you would like the delegates to take away from this today?
I think all the speakers are doing very well. The information we are getting is educational. I would say, what builds you as an employee, please take it home.
Oh wow.
What is positive towards assisting to achieve your personal goals and that of the work life, please take it home. Because it's important for them to know that at least in the third men's conference, I learned 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh yeah.
And it takes the college far, in a sense that we never noticed that this thing is these events are special. We only noticed after the first one, and the feedback was positive. And there have been confirmations from employees that, since we started to attend these events, we have seen much changes in our lives.
Lovely.
However, we have a road to start again, because now one of the comments which are common, which we have now not yet addressed, is that this event happens once a year. So can the college try and at least have 2 or 3?
Oh, wow.
Which then means the next strategy is that the college is looking at making sure that these type of topics are rolled out frequently, maybe per campus, without disturbing teaching and learning, obviously, so that we then expand the voice of, the voice of employee health and wellness, and making sure that the college is moving forward to achieve its mandate. We are making sure that we are moving the college from good to great.
Ah, fantastic.
Beautiful.
Mr.
Thank you so
Musibati
much.
with us, who is the Deputy Principal Corporate Services here at Northlink, with us here on the Link Show. Musi, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much.
We know you're busy and you're
Yeah.
still going to be attending conference, but thank you very much for
Thank you
being
so
with
much
us
for your
today.
time.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Brilliant, brilliant. So there you kind of got a sense and an overview of what it is all about, what people can expect, the delegates, of course, and how the conference is going.
Oh, yeah.
And it is going rather well, I must say. It is fantastic, but it's also fantastic to hear exactly to what extent it is important in terms from Northlink's perspective, and ultimately what the delegates take out of this road. And this is the important bit.
That's the importance at the end of the day.
if it
And
does
Dougal,
lock,
it's been so busy. Earlier, there was staff playing games. We've actually got the putt-putt and a whole gaming system here at the back. And we've got also on the left-hand side, they actually got where they can test their blood pressure and sugar and all of those things. So they really, Northlink is taking this to another level and really showing their staff and showing everybody out there that we take them important, because they are important to your children at the end of the day. It's just to come and study here. So the
Yeah.
wellness is very important.
And that is a very important aspect as well, because when you look at how these are all the bits that will go into the basket of making a decision, which is so important, and this is truly important. So if this care is given and dedication
yeah.
is given within employees and all stakeholders within the college, it is very important that will transcend to the student. And these are the bits that definitely sways a person when you make that kind of decision in terms of your tertiary choice. But we're going to move on, because we've got several guests, and we're also going to be touching base with some of the speakers and all involved here with the conference today, just to give you a real behind the scenes and a real feel as you would be attending it. So joining us now is Nasir Solari, who's the Assistant Director of Business Development and Sourcing. He is here. Nasir, good to see you. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Or is it still good
Is it
afternoon?
so?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
It's
we've
for
just
12.
nipped it.
We just nipped it.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad.
It is great. It is great to have you here. So you're a delegate. You're attending it today.
Yeah.
What is the decision behind you being here? Why?
Yeah, it's this is my second one. So last year was my first one.
Okay.
And I always appreciate that a company or entity as big as Northlink have a session like this for men to look at their own personal health, their own personal financial situation, their own personal physical situations and stuff like that. And last year the session was very eye-opening to see the talks that we had from the guest speakers, what they've taught us, what they've talked to us about it. It was things we could take home and implement in our own personal lives.
Wow.
And that for me, this year, when it was obviously brought to the attention of all the staff, was a must attend.
Yeah.
It's a day where you're laid back, you're out of that stressful environment, you're engaging with other colleagues, and often we don't get the time to engage with each other because we are spread so far apart and things like that. And you meet new people and you engage, and I think that also just helps you relax more. It also adds to your well-being and your mental state.
Oh, fantastic.
Because you're obviously interacting with people on a better level, and then also the time and effort that goes into the event. As you can see, we had a very beautiful event today. So it's just all been
Big plus.
attending us, is there quite a bit of engagement? Are there conversations that are happening that are quite eye-opening that you, before arriving today or last year, you thought to yourself, I never thought we'd be talking about this. And you're actually surprised by the other men just forthcoming it, because men generally, and I say this as man to man, generally, we don't have emotional conversations.
Correct.
We seem to be,
Yes.
or we assume we don't. You know?
And I think even today, at the very first break that we had, after receiving talks from two speakers, there was already engagement about those topics that were shared with us. And men was talking about situations at life, at home, about those things and relating to those topics already.
Wow.
And that was good to hear, because we often, as men, we often hold back. We don't speak out, and we won't talk to each other. We talk about work things. We talk about maybe things that I like in life, cars, sport, those kind of things. But the really emotional things that affect us on a day-to-day basis, we don't often
bury
open
them.
up. You know?
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, we bury them.
And then, oh, sorry, I'll continue.
And one of the topics was the barriers for talking.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, and that obviously got the crowd talking, the men talking, and things like that, and it kind of opened up the discussion. So it was a two-way discussion.
That's cool.
And I think it's something that most men here today is going to take home in terms of how to overcome those barriers and how to approach it. So there was given some recommendations, some tools to use, etc., and those kind of things, you know.
And are those the kind of is that something that would have resonated with you today, that actually stood out?
Yeah, no, definitely, especially the first speaker. He was obviously a psychologist. He used some personal experiences to convey certain things and how it's changed his life. And definitely there are some things that you can obviously relate to and take back and go and implement in your life. I mean, from last year's talk, there was this specific doctor, I forget his name, but there was this specific doctor who gave us obviously sexual education, and it's also something men very close about in terms of that. But I think it was such an important aspect, because the way we've educated each other in society and in communities about sexual education is different to how we understand it on a professional level. And he brought that professionalism into it to understand it better. So it would make your life with your partner a little bit easier understanding, you know, the signs, the triggers, and all of those kind of things, you know. So yeah, it's all of those kind of things.
And I just wanted to find out as well, because one of the things our previous speaker spoke about as well is the gender-based violence, which is obviously a problem within South Africa, in Cape Town, around South Africa right now.
Yes.
And was that topic touched as well? Because obviously it's something that I feel men need to talk and speak about as well.
The second speaker was obviously about gender-based violence. We had a lady that spoke there in front. She was you could see she was very passionate about gender-based violence. The angle that she came in with was very good. She obviously gave a broad overview about gender-based violence, what are the causes in terms of gender-based violence. But she also tried to encourage men who are being abused silently to step forward and talk about it, because statistically, according to her, 75% of the statistics show that women are being abused through gender-based violence, and be it any type of gender-based violence. And the 25% of men that does come forward is only those with the courage to obviously step forward. And she says because men don't step forward and internalize that and keep it to themselves because of pride, because of social aspects and those kind of things, men don't step forward. So she encouraged men to obviously step forward and break that silence and come forward in terms of that. And then also how to deal with certain situations and how to treat women and females in terms of gender-based violence, because obviously the statistic shows that most men...
and those stats are alarming. But I like the fact of what you say, because it's almost like you're saying the real strength for a man is actually to speak up, to
Correct.
seek
Yeah.
for advice.
Yes.
That is the real side of
Yeah.
the courage and the strength that we should.
And
we
I
should
think
do.
that's the first and the biggest step any man should do. And
Yeah.
I think if you reach out to talk to somebody and you reach out for help, I think that's obviously steering you in the right path.
Yeah. What
Thank
what
you, Rob.
advice would you give to men in general, but also people that are watching us here and everybody sort of attending this conference? What are the moments that you really want to be like switched on? You know, something
Yeah,
to take
yeah.
away home.
I think you need to find that work-life balance.
Yeah.
I think we caught up so much in our work life because we spend so many hours with it that we forget to actually care for ourselves as men. Because we pressed by society that we need to put in the hard hours, we need to be the man of the house, we need to be the breadwinner, we need to be X, Y, and Z in terms of that. But we forget to take care of ourselves. So my advice is, and something that I want to implement in my life, is to at least take a day a month. Take a day out and just do introspection and see where I'm at mentally, physically, and professionally. And take time out and see if the things that I've been taught here today, some of those tools, take it with me and try and implement it
Yeah.
step by step, just to put me in a better space mentally as a man, and then also have more conversation with my wife or my partner in terms of what stresses I'm going through, what things are obviously bothering me and things like that, you know. So finding that work balance
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
is very important. And then obviously accessing these type of platforms that there are. And I mean, Northlink does provide these platforms outside of this conference. I think just to take a step and access these platforms.
Can you do me a favor while we're standing
I
here?
think previously
sort that
we had, if I have a moment to just,
Yeah.
we had an issue with my son, and we all attended the psychologist together. And in the society that I come from,
Oh, yeah.
if you attend a psychologist, you get branded as, you
Yeah.
know, a certain person and stuff like that. But just that engagement and that step to go and talk to the psychologist, and we talked as a family of what's happening around us, helped us so much in terms of that. So I would encourage them to take up the opportunity and reach out to those platforms
Yeah.
that is available to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's a beautiful event. Northlink always outdoes themselves.
So that's actually what I want to get to you with the final question.
Thank
In the
you,
beginning
yeah.
of the interview, you said this is you've attended last year. This is your second.
Second one, yes.
Was the wait that long? Did it feel like a year? You were that excited for the next one to come?
Yeah, look, it was a year. I think it was maybe even just slightly over a year. I think last year's one was early in the year. But yeah, I think it was welcoming. And I think also the timing of the date, you know, it's October, it's that fatigue time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, where everybody's
Oh, yeah.
stressed and we're biting at each other
Just
and
about
just trying
make
to
it.
finish
Yeah.
off projects and things like that. So I think the timing is also good.
Brilliant.
You know, that time of the year where you're fatigued, you just need a day to relax and rejuvenate, you know. So yeah, well
fantastic.
done to the
Fantastic.
Northlink executive. Yeah.
Nasir, thank you so much
Nasir.
for coming and having a chat with
Definitely.
us and sharing your insights and thoughts on all of this. And we wish you all the best.
It's a pleasure.
But thank you so much for
Yeah, no.
just showcasing your experience of all of this. And
thank you.
We are envious and
Yes.
admiration position. I can tell you that. I also want to attend one
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's where I am. But thank you
No,
so much. We
definitely.
wish you all the
Thank you
best.
so
Pleasure.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
That is
wow.
Nasir Solari, who is one of the delegates, of course, attending today's conference here at the area Wine Farm, where we have all of the men's conference taking
Yeah.
place. The third one, of course. And you will hear some background noises. That
Oh,
is purely
yeah.
just because I think people have broken for lunch.
That's for lunch,
But
yeah.
it is all happening. It's quite a bit of
the
a...
city, yeah.
Yeah, there are queues there. There's always queues when
There's
there's
always
food. That
queues
is
when
what
there's
I'm
food.
saying. But also we got some visuals for you inside. So that is pretty much what it looks like. We're doing an in-depth dive so you can actually see all of what is taking place currently. But as you can see there on the stage is one of the speakers who's actually going to join us right now.
well.
And that is Brad Kirsten, who is going to be joining us here next on the Link show. And we've got a lot to talk to him because Brad was actually one of the keynote speakers, one of the guest speakers earlier in the day, earlier as part of the conference. So Brad joins us now. Brad, hello.
Hello, Brad.
Thanks for having me. How exciting. I saw you guys all setting up. I thought, gee, this is where all the cool kids hang out.
Definitely
Well,
the cool
you
kids.
here now. You here now. You here now. It's cool now because you here. So, Brad, there's so much to talk about because you were one of the speakers today.
Yes.
And you specifically focused on personal growth and purposeful living. I love that last part, purposeful
Yeah.
living. That is like brilliant. And this is what you do. This is all part of your man up framework as you term it.
That's right.
Please, can you share with us?
Well, it's actually very simple. I just realized over time that as men, we're just kind of drifting. Then we're going to work, we're coming home from work, and we feel like we're nowhere.
Yeah.
We can do the basic things that we need to every day that we're called to, but we're asking ourselves, like, isn't there more to life than this? And are we really living a purposeful life? Have we made conscious decisions about some of the things that really matter? Whether it's how we eat, how we sleep, how we hydrate, how we move, how we think, and how we allow ourselves to be distracted by all of the things that are out there. So for me, the Man Up framework is something that I developed to say, what we need as men is we just need a little bit of help.
Oh, yeah.
And where the framework says, okay, step 1 looks like this, step 2 looks like this. So enable the guys to just follow a really easy, basic recipe. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress, because every little step we take builds momentum. And as you get better at certain things, as we start to find I'm growing in my self-belief, I'm developing in my fitness. And it's not about six-pack abs, it's just about taking care of ourselves. There are men out there that are ending up in doctors' rooms where the doctors are telling them, you've got to change or else. And we never want to be in that place. For some men, it's even too late to even have that conversation and say something needs to change. So for us as men to embrace the need to be there for our families, to be there at work, to be able to be the men that we've been destined and called to be. And unless we're going to consciously say, my responsibility is a massive one. My family, if I'm married, my wife, my kids, they're looking up to me, they need me. What am I prepared to do to make sure that I'm there? Not only just there, but really present and being all that I can be.
Yeah.
And the things that you highlight there from when you say we were sort of drifting and we're floating, was that sort of inspired you for this approach?
Now, this is exactly what I experienced in my own life. I mean, this developed out of where I saw myself. I looked at a photograph of myself just after I got married almost 20 years ago, and my wife and I looked at this and I thought, no man, this is me. This is not inspiring. This is not uplifting. This is not healthy. This is not wholesome. This is not the best version of me. And it started with a simple decision to say up to this point and then no further.
Yeah.
I was drifting. I had no idea what I was doing. And you know, we get so easily influenced. It's this podcast and it's that YouTube program and it's this social media influencer. Everybody's giving us information. The problem we have as men is there's so much information, but there's zero transformation. And so we have to start, what are we going to do with the information that we have? And that's where the Man Up framework comes in, to guide men to say, when you are in me, I've got you. Okay, we're going to take this step and then this step.
And that is always the shortcoming, because always when because there are programs out for any sort of thing. But I always find it myself as well, because I always look at something and then, you know, I don't have the discipline. I have that, it's a great idea, I'm going to do it. And then I'm like, there's no call to action really.
Correct.
The call to action is just me saying it, which is a huge lie to myself and whoever I'm saying it to. There's really no call to action. In terms of the discipline required, does your approach make that easier in terms to get to the purpose, get to the intent, and really showcase, and as well as the pitfalls? Because I don't think everybody always speak to the pitfalls, you know, the things where you might get a little despondent.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's human nature, right? That's the problem with motivation and rah-rah. Like, come on, we're going to do this. Today we're going to do it. Then you get in there, you do it every single day. And for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3 days, and then you're all the way back to where you were. So even discipline can be very, very difficult, because that means you've got to go up and do things that aren't easy or stuff that you don't even like, but you still have to get up and do it because you understand that they are important. So with something like this framework, the idea is you don't even have to be super disciplined. You just need to do it. And one of the great things, and I don't want to leave this out, is the necessity for brotherhood, accountability, and connectivity. We're not created as men to be islands. We act as if we are, and that's where we really come short. So some of the things I'm really passionate about and that you see in the Man Up framework is I'm accountable to you. I'm in a brotherhood. Dude, are you okay? Like, what's the problem? How can I help you? How are you doing with your exercise today? No, it's hard. I know it's hard for me too. And then someone's like, oh, you're experiencing what I'm experiencing. There's something wrong with me. It's just how I sometimes am. Come on, let's do this together. I'll connect with you. I'll phone you up. Let's go to the gym. Oh, I don't have a gym. That's okay. Let's go for a walk. Let's go and grab the dogs and go. And then there's one more thing I also want to add is that this is legacy, because it's not just about you. It's about the people that you inspire. What about if you have a son or a nephew? And what about the next generation? So legacy is so important. Get your kids in. Have you ever done a push-up with your kids? Have you ever taught your kids how to do a lunge, a crunch? They don't know. They're getting influenced, and it's up to us as men to step in and be the inspiration, to be able to say, come, let's do it together. The next thing you know, you've passed on the skill set to the next generation, and then it's their normal. Now we don't have to try and get them to do these things that everyone says are so hard to do. They're already doing it. And they inspire the people around them.
Wow.
As a parting question, can I ask you, is there like a mindset shift? Something in terms that we can say to people to start living more intentional, purposeful lives?
Yeah.
To do it right now?
It simply starts with the decision to say, am I pleased with the man that I am? And that's like what I call the man in the mirror. You got to look at that man, and you got to look at him, and you're going to say, if I'm looking at myself, Brad, are you happy with the man you see? Because the man I see is a result of all of the decisions that I've made, good or bad. And do I like what I see? And if the answer to that is no, there are areas in my physical life, spiritual life, emotional life that I'm really not happy with, then it's a decision. Because you can decide to stay the same. And us men, we like it. Nee, ek is so gemaak en so gelaat staan. You know how we say? I'm not going to change. You can't change me. But it does make a conscious decision. You have to make that choice. This is not the man that I want to be, and I need to change. But that decision only is one step. Then you might need somebody to step in with the next step and say, you've made the choice, come, let me take your hand, let me guide you, let me show you, and let's walk this out.
Yeah. Wow. No, I like the sound of the Man Up framework. Absolutely love the way it sounds, and I like that you say it is really about intention. I love the aspect of the brotherhood thing. Nobody is an island. We don't operate alone.
So true.
I mean, you know, social is everything, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And this is what it's about. But Brad, thank you so much for your time. We know you are
what a pleasure.
Having your lunch
so
right now.
busy. So thanks for just nipping off
what a pleasure.
to come in to talk to us.
Thanks so much for the honor and the privilege of meeting both of you and to be out there in Northlink world. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is Brad Kirsten, everybody, one of the speakers here today at the 3rd Annual Men's Conference, but we've got more coming your way.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said there, Rhoda, what is really great in terms of highlighting it, he speaks of a brotherhood, really making those intentions, and these are some of the takeaway bits.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So honestly, there's a brotherhood. You're never alone.
Okay, that'll be nice.
You've got to ask yourself those hard questions and try and constantly build.
I'd love that.
And yes, it takes discipline, but when we want
let's
wonderful
pass that
results,
to
of
them.
course, it's got to start with you. But
Definitely.
another topic, Rhoda, just to move on very another topic that has also been covered is physical and mental wellness. And these are almost two very polar different things. But I'm going to say that because our next guest and next speaker will shine some light on this, and that is John McGrath, who is joining us right now. John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. How are you?
I'm super excited. I'm still just after doing my talk, so I'm still.
Adrenaline is still going?
High.
Yeah. You just finished. Were you just the last speaker out here? The last speaker up
wow.
now. How did it go? Let's ask you that first.
It was actually went amazingly well.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was
Were
very
you surprised?
Well received. Somewhat, but yeah, it went really well.
Yeah. When you say well, is that due to the level of engagement that you
Yes.
received?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be
When
the...
people sometimes finish your sentences, then you know that the engagement is going well.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, wow, that is exciting. But when we speak physical and mental wellness, are these two islands?
No. I think the mind is the athlete. The body is the tool. You know. So the Greeks had a saying as well. They call it mens sano in corpore sano. healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah.
So the two are inextricably linked. There's no getting away from it, yeah? And one helps the other.
Yeah.
And, so so for instance, when you gym, when you do a workout, etc., or when you go for a walk, your mind feels better for the next 24 hours or so, because of the endorphins and all these positive chemicals that are released in the bloodstream. And speaking about the mind, I was looking at a piece of research from the University of Southern Australia, and they carried out research on people who had just started exercising for 8 weeks, and they had each one of the people in the group was suffering from depression, anxiety, or some form of mental anxiety. Therefore, after 8 weeks, exercise had reduced it by 50%. All calls by 50%.
Oh wow.
So it's not just a saying; it's a fact. Now the connection between the two.
So the connection is quite strong, and but then that poses the question: why are they so closely connected?
Yeah.
Why are they so closely connected? I suppose because when you exercise, okay, there's a number of different things happen. You're getting more oxygen. More oxygen goes to the brain. Yeah. All these positive chemicals that we spoke about are released into the body.
Yeah.
Those feel-good chemicals are released. Your heart is pumping. There's so many positive things happening in your body. Your muscles are being strengthened, and all of these have a direct impact on one's life. So, for instance, the aging disease called sarcopenia, which starts, sorry to say, guys, after the age of 30. So we're all in it, but it can be changed. So the aging disease is people lose between 3 and 8% of lean muscle per decade, and that's compounded over time. And that's why you end up, you lose mobility, you have brittle bones, and you fall after the age of 65, and the outcomes are not good for a lot of the people,
Yeah.
But all of that is reversible.
Oh wow.
By, getting into the body.
Yeah.
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 So my question is, because obviously we're living in a world where people are, and I'm looking at the Northlink staff itself, it's busy all the time. Their life is quite crazy. How if I don't have a gym contract, or I can't go to a gym, what other means and ways are there for this staff to basically also pick up the wellness?
It's a good question. I'm thinking of what Arthur Ashe, who was the first black man to win in Wimbledon, said. He said, do what you can with what you have where you are standing.
Oh, wow.
So there's lots of stuff available online to do a 20-minute workout, a 30-minute Pilates session that can be done at home. If you're time poor in that regard, there's always something that you can do. Yeah. So, and it's a mix. With social media.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going for the 1-minute clips. I'd be going for
somebody not 1 minute.
who you've well researched and you like the feel of it. And there's amazing stuff available for us now. Yeah.
Lovely, man.
And John, in your discussion, do you ever touch on financial wellness?
Not so much, but I do discuss it with people, because I think it's a critical well-being. It's a critical pillar of well-being. And it's another area of personal responsibility. It's not easy, and I think Einstein said that compounding, the ability to compound. He said two things. He said those who don't know about compound interest pays it to those who do. And the compound interest is the 8th miracle of the world. So that it's very important to take responsibility and to learn about these things, because we're not always taught about the impact of using 2 or 3 credit cards and a store card, and suddenly your life, you're in trouble. And if you're in financial, you're in a space of anxiety or depression, all of that, and it's a key pillar. I don't talk about it much. I don't broaden out my talk that much about it, but it's something I'm quite personally very passionate about.
Yeah. I just wanted to check here because I see they've given me a question to ask you. And I was like, good. Do you actually venture that way? But more importantly, what would you recommend would be the first thing to those watching us right now, the people that were attending the conference, the men? what is the first thing for, what would be step one for me if I've asked those questions that you've
Well, it would
highlighted?
depend on the individual.
Yeah.
It would depend on their, on their exercise history. Are they currently doing something or not? It would depend on the level on the age, I suppose, and the level. I think, do you know what's a very important thing is one of the things I say is that George Washington said, he said, pay any price to be in the company of incredible people. There's places you can go, there's run clubs you can join, there's all sorts of groups and people. And if you're with a group of people that's going somewhere in that aspect of your life, guess what? You're going to get pulled along.
Yeah.
So commit to it as well. Because if you're in a group of people, say, we're just going to go to the park and we're going to do a 30-minute workout or a 20-minute workout or in our neighborhood or whatever. If there's 4 or 5 of them going, you're not going to be the one who's, I'm going to go, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So you have to corner yourself, because our mind just doesn't want to gym with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to gym most days of the week. I don't want to do it. But I know that if I have to do it, and I know if I do it, I'll feel better, and onwards and onwards. And it has about committing to yourself, self-commitment, and how valuable is your own word to yourself.
Exactly.
So, that's what I try and do. I corner myself. I set a goal. Okay, next year I'm going to run the Cape Town Marathon if it's not too windy, whatever.
That's not the windy.
So, you say to a group of people, are you in? Are you in? And now we're there. We've got momentum. So that's what I would say to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. And what would when you look at trying to strengthen body and mind, and we know there's a direct link between them as you will explain. Those habits that we gotta start with. Is there another way that other just tricking myself in thinking that? Is there another step that I could use to do that?
Well, the mind doesn't know the difference between a real and imaginary experience. You know that they've carried out research with people who've done bench pressing, actually went in and did workouts for 5-6 weeks or whatever. And then people who just sat down and they visualized themselves lifting very heavy weights. And just the ones who visualized, and I'm not advocating this over the long term, but I'm just saying the ones who only visualized also made progress. Not as much as the other guys, but made progress. So our mind has a huge role to play in all of this. And how you see yourself, where you see yourself going, plays a massive role in where we actually do go. So, because most people's self-talk is negative, right?
Yeah.
The majority of self-talk is negative.
Yeah.
The majority of things you see on social media, on the news, apart from this show, are negative. 80-90% negative. So if your self-talk is negative and what you garner from the outside world, inside and outside, is mostly negative, then it's going to be mostly negative. So the important thing that you must do is to guard your own thoughts and to make sure that that you have a lot of good ones, or you try to equal that out.
Yeah.
And spend time with people who are going somewhere and who are doing something on a journey that you would want to be on as well. So.
Yeah. Very similar to the Jack Ma theory, where you've got to surround yourself with, so similar to that. John McGrath, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you much longer, but thank you so much for taking the time and nipping to talk to us.
Thanks
Much
for having
appreciated,
me.
though.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So there you heard it from one of the speakers, John McGrath, who addressed physical and mental wellness, highlighted that wonderful connection and that closely. And Rhoda, sometimes we always think of it as a two separate balls, but it's really the same thing.
It's the same thing,
Or linked at least. The link is a lot closer than we anticipate.
Because your physical and your mental health, it's definitely, for me, it's not islands like like you are. It's really just one. If the one is not good, the other one's not going to be well. And like he says, you don't have to go to gym. There's like your internet, you got your phone that you can basically look at and things like that. So it's really something you need to focus on where your mental health is coming from. Definitely.
And that is the important bit. But we are going to move on to our next guest.
That's right.
So our next guest joining us here on the Link Show is Witness Madaka, who is with us. Witness, how are you?
Very well, how you doing?
Lekker, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
Can you just see that mic is right?
Rhoda will sort your bike out.
Yeah, move there.
We'll sort it out for you. So you were one of the speakers as well today.
Yes,
So
I'm
going
actually
to-
scheduled
yeah.
to speak
I was
after
gonna
You're
say.
still
lunch.
coming.
After
I'm
lunch.
still
Are you
coming.
nervous? There we go. And you will be talking about financial wellness and empowerment.
Yes.
And this is probably a topic everybody is looking forward to because everyone's
yeah.
going to have some serious questions for you.
I hope so, especially for men and young men. It's
Yeah.
quite important because I think society places so much emphasis on men being providers, men
This will be on you.
taking care of the family. So I think that's one of the things that weighs heavily when it comes to men's health.
John, our previous guest that was with us, you also spoke about the knowledge. So all of a sudden, in my mind, it triggers the fact that we've got to be we've got to be more literate when it comes to financial freedom. We've got to understand, we've got to change our mindset, but be aware of things because people use words like he did, the compounding and all of this. So we hear these words all the time, diversify, and we hear all these things, and people use them willy-nilly, and they've got zero meaning of what these are. These some of the things that you will address that people actually got to change their mindset in order to activate and start moving onto a path of financial freedom.
Yeah, luckily when it comes to my communication with regards to finance and business, it's more simplified. I will take whatever complicated words that he's used and put them in a more simplified way that even the guy that's starting today can literally start applying, because it's one thing to hear the words, but it's another to understand exactly what they mean.
Yeah.
And even if you do understand what they mean, what are you supposed to do with the information? Because the main thing is not collecting information, it's actually then doing something with the information that you've collected. So my focus will be on that, to say how do we break down complex financial communication and put it in a manner that you can understand and start applying today.
But you've inspired a lot of people over the years that you've been doing this in order to get to that financial freedom.
Yeah.
What do you think is and with the lessons learned and assisting people, what do you think are there commonalities and big mistakes that people make, financial mistakes?
Yeah. So before we get to the mistakes, I think one of the things that I've seen is that people don't even know that with what they have, they can, for instance, get into the property industry, which is one of the key ways to build wealth and stability for yourself. So you find somebody earning 8,000 as an example, thinking that they cannot get into property because they don't have millions. But that's not what the law says. That's not what the bank says. It's just a myth that exists around that. And then leading to the mistakes of what you're talking about. Say you're starting out, right?
Yeah.
And you are earning a specific amount of salary,
8,000.
right?
Yeah.
What is the thing that society says you must buy?
Cars, clothes.
Of course, a car, right?
Yeah.
Because we say, no, you gotta move around.
Yeah.
And then eventually we say, but you gotta get married. You've got a car now, you gotta get married now. And then we say, buy a home to live in. All of those things have to come off from one income that the person is making. And there's no other income that they've created out of that, right? So for me, that's a grave mistake, because now I must pay for a car, now I must pay for a house. I probably took a loan to get married because I was starting out, right? So that compounds, that word comes back again, compounds over a period of time. But if you take the same salary and say, why don't you find a cash flow positive property that's going to bring in and add to the income that you're already making, while also growing in value over a period of time. And then you keep adding over that portfolio, because the bank doesn't limit you. As long as you've got affordability, you're able to buy. But the mistake that we then make is, because we want to start with the car, we want to start with the clothes, which is quote unquote liabilities, then we are not able to qualify for the property that's then going to generate cash flow.
Exactly.
And then another thing that we make as a mistake, we think, I have to wait 20 years and finish the first bond before I buy the next property.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you ask a guy, why aren't you buying your next property? You've got a pay slip, you're working, income is coming in. It's like, no, I'm still paying another bond.
Oh.
But the bank will probably finance you much quicker than somebody who's never bought a property and slightly older. Although they put an emphasis on first-time home buyers, they also do put an emphasis in the fact that if one already is accustomed to paying their bond, they understand how it works, it's a lot easier for them to buy the next property for investment.
yes.
So it's some of those things.
Not going to run away.
Yes, because then if you want to later start a business or take your child to school, your property has accumulated equity over a period of years. It's compounded, isn't it? Then you can take from that through refinancing, pay your child's fees, start a business, pay off your debts, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Financial freedom, I think, outweighs some of the other needs and wants or things that people will aspire to. It's always when you are, you know, we all want to be healthy in all the ways, whether it's mentally, physically, or all of this, or financially as well. But that will be, if you ask anybody, like, you know, what is your dream? Most people say, I want to win the Powerball, I want to win the Lotto. You know what you want to have? You know, you want to have as much financial resources to your disposal.
Yeah.
What is a practical way, regardless of income, regardless of earnings, regardless of what you start out with, what is a practical way for us to change our mindset as young people, regardless of your age, but for young, if you turn 18, what is the thing that we should do and make that the habit in our discipline? So we ask those hard questions at an early age and then it becomes part of our lives. What is that one action we should do?
Absolutely. So I think from an early age, you have to understand the difference between active income and passive income and how it relates to the levels of wealth. And I'm going to share that quickly. Passive income is money that you get whether you work or not. It's money that you get from a property that you've rented out, a book that you've written, music that you've made. You're continuing to get paid for as long as somebody is using this product that you have or that you've created. Active income is money that you get because you have to go to work. If you don't go to work, you're not going to get the money, right? It's what we call being in the rat race, quote unquote. It's not a bad thing, but that's where we all start. We start out in the rat race. We depend on our active income salary in order for us to pay our bills, right? And expenses. And then if one is now graduated in their mindset, they've taken what they are earning from their active income, converted it into passive income, they get into a level that we call financial independence. Financial independence is your passive income is equal to your expenses. So you don't necessarily have to work, understand? So you're independent in that sense. Whether you're earning 100,000 and your expenses are 100,000 passive income, or you are earning 5,000, you're on the same level because you don't necessarily have to work. And then the next level is financial freedom. Financial freedom is when your passive income is 2 times your expenses. So whatever your expenses are, whether it's 5,000 or 100,000, if you're earning twice that amount through passive income, income from properties, income from business, income from any books that you've written, then you have financial freedom. So where people get it mixed up is they think that the lifestyle has to be top-notch in order for you to consider yourself free. So at whatever level that you find yourself, you can have that freedom.
The scale is irrelevant.
The scale is irrelevant. Then the last one is financial wealth, where your passive income is 3 times your expenses. So you've got that car that you're renting out, that house that you're renting out, that business that you're operating, it's generating 3 times what your expenses are. You have financial wealth. You don't necessarily have to be actively working for you to be able to generate that money. It's money that comes in because you've built up your passive income streams. So it's as basic as that, to say, okay, how much am I earning actively? All right, how much of that am I actively taking and investing in other parts and generating enough income for me to move up the financial wealth levels? Red race, financial independence, financial freedom, and financial wealth.
Thank you so much.
Witness, thank you so much for joining us. But before we let you go,
thank you.
That last point that you made, is that one of the big takeaways from your speech that will be happening?
My speech will slightly be different from what
I was going to say,
But is that the big
I couldn't spoil it.
No, 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 you
Spoil
couldn't.
it,
But
definitely
that's
not.
one of the takeaways from what is to come.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
it's one of the key things that you need in order to grow any wealth. If you look at some of the world's wealthiest people, it's only a few that actually get wealthy because they have a salary.
Yeah.
And those are CEOs and people that have shares. And if you look at their actual wealth, it's based on the contribution that they've made strategically to the businesses. It's not because he's working an actual job.
Yeah.
It's because in the business, he plays a critical role strategically. If you look at
Exactly.
YT Basson, I think he's one
Yeah.
of the wealthiest employees we've ever seen
Yeah.
in the country, but it's because he was running ShopRite for all these years.
Wow, look.
Exactly.
Wow, look. With this,
With
fingers
this.
crossed and all
Yes,
the best.
all
I
the
don't want to keep
best,
you much
yes.
longer because I know it's almost stage
It's
time
almost
for you.
time, yeah.
But, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you all the best and thanks for taking the time to chat to us.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, thank
man,
you.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Great tips there. You're going to love this. What does
Oh,
Vidaka,
yeah.
man? We might have to stick around for that. I would love to hear that because really some great tips and really wonderful stuff. But these are, we've touched base with several of the speakers we had from Brad,
Oh,
we had
yeah.
from John, we also got from Witness. So you kind of got a sense and what is happening here behind the scenes as well and what is all happening here at the conference. And we've got several people moving here behind us too, so you can see lunch is still
Lunch is
ongoing. But I
happening
do
right
think
now.
we're heading towards the end of lunch. There might still be a few more moments left with us. But Rhoda, this is really fantastic. I
It
do
is.
struggle to find out Northlink Conference 4 is going to be.
It's going to be compared
what
to
is it
3.
compared now? This
Oh,
is,
wow.
my
It's on another
goodness.
level.
This is fantastic. So
yeah, let's
I
see.
do struggle to see where number 4 is going to be because how do you beat this?
How do you beat this? But thank
This
you
is
guys
fantastic.
for being and viewing, and all the Northlink graduates or students out there that's a future graduates. Please join Northlink. And all our details will be on the screen as well. Contact us, and then you can go to Northlink's website as well.
Yes, and that basically wraps up as we get to the end of the Link Show today. So thank you to the wonderful speakers and all our guests that came here from Usibati. We just heard from Witness Vidaka a short moment ago. We had Brad Kirsten as well as John McGrath, all part of the show. Rhoda, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
thank you
thank
to
you,
the
Dougal.
wonderful people here at the area and of course for putting this amazing men's conference together. The Northlink team behind this. But all the details for Northlink is right
right
here
there
at the bottom of your screen, of course. So check out the website, check out the courses. As a parent, as a teacher, whatever your space is, if you are with people who are looking for an opportunity, this is your pathway. The one thing you can definitely take from this is that the staff, and more importantly, are well looked after, and the men's conference is just one event where all aspects of wellness and health is touched on, which makes, of course, a very productive employee, and that, at the end of the day, is a big tick and a move in a positive direction. So thanks again for joining us. We'll be back, of course, with another edition of the Link Show in the not distant future. We look forward to seeing you then. From Rhoda and myself here at the Men's Conference, the 3rd annual one taking place right in the back end of 2025. We bid you adieu. Look after yourself. Until next time, cheers everybody.
Bye-bye.